Hey guys, it's Shane here. One of the questions I see asked a lot about the Hondamatic bike is how well does it do on the highway at highway speeds? You know, like 70, 80 miles an hour. And I'm going to test that out today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the tire and fork air pressures. So let's look at the manual here. It's tire size. Tire pressures, according to the manual, up to 200-pound load, it says 28 on the front and back. Up to vehicle capacity, 28 up front, 36 in the back. I personally run 28, 36 in the back at all times, and that just feels most comfortable to me. That's just how I always run it. Now, as far as the front fork air pressure, for some reason they didn't list it in this section, and you can see here CM450A. Over here in the fork repair section, it says right here, fill the fork tubes with air, 11 plus minus 3 psi. And the way to do that is you put the bike on the center stand, and that's how you air up the forks. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the bike on the center stand. I'll check the wheels and the fork air pressure. Got it on the center stand. Got my Honda wing valve stem cap removed. And I got my little right angle thing here. So let's check that. Oh, I gotta set the bars. 22 psi, so we want that at 28. So I got this, which is my Campbell Housefield RP4100. I really like this thing. I just hook it up to an extension cord. Goes into my house. I'll get this up to 28. Looks like 28. So the front's good. Looks like we're about 30 here, so pump it up a little bit. That's 36. Now with this fork, which I've also got the Honda wing valve cap, you have to be really careful. It's a very small amount of air in these forks. Ideally you want to use a bicycle pump, but I found that if I use this and I just kind of flick the on-off switch, you can use this as long as you just flick the on-off switch. I've got 8 psi in there. I probably released the rest of the psi just from that last measurement. So let's go ahead and throw the thing on there and get some air in there. Okay, so you see I've got it hooked up. You can see it's actually like registering almost no psi, so I'll just flick it. So we've got maybe 5 psi in there. Maybe 10-ish. I'll fill it up a little bit more because I'm gonna lose some just removing that and checking it. As long as I don't exceed like 30, there's no risk of a blowout anyway. Okay, let's check it now. So watch, I'm at 15, and in theory when I check this, it'll be 14. 14. 13. So the next time I check it, I'll leave it. 12 and a half. That's good enough. I want to make sure that there's enough air in it. It says plus minus 3, so this is good. Safety first. Always got to gear up. Got my boots on from Canada too. So I'm going to do a little experiment today. I haven't had the GoPro out in a while. I'm going to probably mount it upside down, see if that gets me a better view of the road. Usually when I mount it straight up, it contacts the back. So see how we do. Yeah, idling nice and nice. See this nice smooth idle we got here? All right. All right, this is the big test here. I've got my e-pass in my pocket, by the way. Is the Hondamatic a highway bike? Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? Right at 11 psi. Everything feels pretty good. I'm not wobbling. I'm going to swing back over here though. I don't like hanging out in the fast lane too much. I'm not one of those kind of riders. Give myself a little distance though from this Chevy in front of me. And I'm keeping an eye on this car to the right of me. I don't want to be in their blind spot either. And they know I'm there now. So, yeah, I think I would be pretty comfortable riding on the highway on this. I've done, I think, the most in a day on this is about 300 miles. And it's a lot of fun riding this. I did have that kind of really hard wobble people are talking about before. And I rebuilt the front fork, and that took care of it. This thing rides smooth as butter on the highway to me. So, it is my opinion that if you're hung up on buying the Hondamatic based on the idea that you're worried about it being a highway bike, or if you're worried about taking it onto the highway, I wouldn't worry about that at all. But with the caveat that you might have to do a little bit of work when you get it, because when I first got mine, I was actually unable to take it on the highway like at all. It was just so wobbly that I couldn't even make it 1 or 2 exits. I had to rebuild the forks, and I put new tires on it, and after that, now it's smooth as butter. And I attribute 90% of that to the fork rebuild and making sure that the forks could hold pressure. So that's about it. It's my opinion.